Hi, it's Kelsey from Junk Journal Magic. I am going to smush color some of these die-cut leaves from the Tim Holtz Sizzix Thinlits set of leaves. It's 665559, the code. These aren't that old. I'm sure everyone's seen them and probably has them. So, hey, you can do this too. But I thought I would play with this a little bit and dye some leaves. I also need to find my water. I just found it. So I am going to be using, just for the heck of it, because I have all these bottles of spray stain, instead of actually using the ink pads or the oxide pads, I'm going to use Rusty Hinge and tea dye. I like orange, and this is just the season for some orange leaves and pumpkins, so why not? Anyway, I'm just going to put a little Rusty Hinge down. Actually, I probably should have done tea dye first. Oh well, what does it matter? What does it matter? This isn't like I'm trying to make some watercolor masterpiece. Anyway, hopefully that diluted it a little. And, well, I guess I don't have to have the tweezers. Ooh, that's actually a really good color. Ooh, these are going to take a while to dry because I didn't prepare and get my heat gun. But hey, this is fine. I'm going to stick it down here on a piece of paper. And as long as the cats don't come in, I'm good to go. I've already got it all over me. But yeah, Martina had some really nice vlogs this past week. I was like, man, I've got to do that. I've got to do something. I want to do something really fun and exciting. And I guess I'm just tired of October, you know. But once these dry, I'm going to use some, why can't I think of what it's called? Embossing powder. I'm going to use some embossing powder and just have some fun with that and make these kind of shiny. I'm going to wait on that and add some of this other tea dye to it. And once they're dry, I'll also put some of this old paper oxide spray on it, because that makes it have these kind of watermark spots that there's different colors to them, because the oxides, all the oxide stuff, and I've heard this about gouache, that they contain an acrylic component, and so when you get it wet, different things settle out at different times. Isn't that awesome? That's a nice nerdy fact. Oh, I wasn't going to do the whole leaf, but hey, no biggie. I'll try this one. Yeah, fingers are better until you have to use the tweezers. So we'll leave that there until I use the tea dye. This should give a couple different tones to the leaves, so they look like the old grungy dead leaves. I think I had one sitting over here somewhere in my mess, and of course I don't see it. Oh wait, I made some already. But once you get that embossing powder on there and you hit it with the heat gun, you get that kind of wet leaf look down in the gutter. Where I used to live, I used to walk all the time, and I loved it in the fall when you get out there with the leaves. Go walking, and they look like this because they've been laying in the gutter with the leftover moisture from whenever it rained. So okay, maybe I should wipe that off, and we'll move on to tea dye. Oh no. Okay, well, we'll do it this way, and it looks like it's gone a little green. That's okay. We're dealing with leaves. Autumn leaves have that color. I bet you I put it in here and maybe added water to spray it onto something, and over time it somehow broke down that color and turned it green, which is fine because I'm about to put it on this leaf. Oh yeah. Yeah, and then I'll come back. I'll find something else to add to it. Don't know, maybe a darker brown. I might have some of that embossing powder that's like a glaze. It's Tim Holtz, and I think it's one of these. I think I have Vintage Photo, actually. I'll try that. But this is just fun. because you get all these cool colors. I'm going to put these down here so they can dry out of the way. And then when I get in there with that embossing powder glaze, ooh, it ought to be cool. And I think the leaves are out of the way enough for me to show you these other things. Let me, oh, don't I have something here? Yeah, I think so. I have a Kleenex. That won't last long. So what I will do, I won't make you sit here and wait. I will do this and then come back. I'll cut this down, sew it, and then we'll try something else. I think I will go in and dry these and then show you what I do with the, we're going to use Distress Embossing Glaze Rusty Hinge. I do have brick red, so I may use some of each because red's a real good color for leaves this time of year. Okay, the leaves are ready. I dried them enough to where we can move on. I bought this cheap clearance embossing ink pad at Hobby Lobby not long ago. I think it was like 67 cents. I actually bought two. And all I do is I decide, where I need some color. And then I'm just going to use this Distress Embossing Glaze Fired Brick color. And I don't want it to be like perfectly, I don't want any straight lines in there. So that'll be okay. I might just kind of do this. Let's see. Can you see the shine on there? I'm about to add some, I'm not going to switch colors until I've finished all of these. I want to add some red to some of them, just to make sure we got lots of color on there. I'm just going to do this actually. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Actually want a little more than that, so I'm going to dip it back in there. See if I can make it a little more intense. Okay, not so much, but I'm going to play with, is it Vintage Photo? Oh no, it's Rusty Hinge, and that's a pretty strong color, so that should work really well. But I'm going to quickly do these. I'm going to actually pause you guys until I finish. Okay, I just finished with the red, the brick red, and you can see there are some shiny spots and some red tones. So I'm excited about that, and I'm going to add the vintage, Rusty Hinge. I keep thinking it's Vintage Photo. I'm going to add Rusty Hinge now, and that should help it shine up quite a bit. I'll show you one, and then I will do the rest off camera so you don't have to sit through all that. It's not as red. It's more orange on this side, but I think that's going to work really well. I might go back and add some clear embossing powder over parts, but it's nicer when you have a few areas that aren't shiny, because if they're laying in the gutter, they'll have some shine where there's moisture, but some parts of the leaf will be dry. So that's what I was thinking when I chose to do that particular embossing method. So I will come back when I'm finished. Okay, I'm back. I think I got the leaves shiny enough to where I achieved the look I wanted without using clear embossing powder. But you can see the glinting light. And they're just supposed to look like leaves on the ground when you're out in the fall.